T. Gray and MK, you are now cleared for flight school takeoff.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Woo! It's about that time. It's time to get down. Here we go, folks. Say goodbye to T. Gray. Say goodbye to Mark. Say hello to the GOAT. Oops.
Every once in a while, an expert emerges and completely changes the game. Someone who is a mentor to those who are willing to learn. A leader who does just that, leads. Someone who is the very definition of courage, the example of integrity, and an undeniable product of a strong work ethic. A man who leads by example and takes total responsibility. And now, he's being called one of the most influential men in our industry. The one, the only, Mr. Holton Buggs.
Happy Saturday, Ibüümerang. How we doing, folks? All over the world. Listen, I have some people that I know who I can count on now to go borrow some money. You know, I was watching in the chats and seeing everyone who's just really knocking it out of the park when it comes to Trade Buddy and things of that nature. I want to say happy Saturday to all of you all around the world. Thanks, T. Gray. Thanks, Mark. And T. Gray absolutely is in trouble. He knows exactly what he says, something that should not come out of his mouth. And I was sitting there cringing. I was punishing him at the time that he was saying what he was saying. But anyway, he'll have his lashes a little bit later on. But no, guys, we had an incredible time last night, as we do here at the office. When after 5 o'clock, we sat here from 5 until about maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock last night. And just had an incredible, awesome time. They're showing me which camera to look into there. I've got like 15 different cameras over here and like a studio movie room over here. It's like, which one do I look at? All right, I'm almost cross-eyed over here. But anyway, no, we did. It was really, really good. It was a great time. I can't wait to go to Mexico. Mexico, here we come. It's going to be incredible leadership retreat that we're going to have in Mexico. And you know what? Here's what's really cool about it. What's really cool about Mexico is quite a few people you won't recognize. Why? They're not in Ibüümerang at all. These are people who know that HB is doing a leadership training and called in and say, hey, listen, can I come? I'm not a part of your company, but you're doing the leadership training. And if it's going to be leadership stuff, I want to be there. So you'll see some unfamiliar faces, whatever it is, they'll blend in. And maybe you have a chance to sponsor some people. I don't know. We'll have some prospects in the room, but they're not coming as prospects. They're just coming for leadership training. And so I am definitely looking forward to it. It's one of the things that is my favorite thing to do. Obviously, building is incredible. I love to build, but one of the things that I love to do better is I love to build leaders and love to build leadership. And so I'm really, really excited about it. Haven't seen you guys in a while, and have some time around the pool, have some time around the beach in the sand, just, doing what we do as leaders and sharing with you what trade and travel can do. And also I somebody's challenged me again. There's this little guy. He's really little guy. His name is Donnie Pips or something like that. Said something about he's going to beat me in golf. I heard through the grapevine. That's what I heard. I don't even know if I know he has pips and stuff like that, but you can't trade pips for birdies. There's no pips and birdie trade-offs over here. So we'll see. But maybe he'll, accidentally wake up too late and not show up because of fear, or maybe the market may have him, at that moment in golf drawdown. But we'll see what's going to happen over there in Mexico. No, we have a lot of fun, guys. I had to, show them how to do it at the bowling alley as well. But I love challenges. I love challenges. We're going to start off with golf. We have several people who's going to be playing golf with us. Looking forward to that as well. I haven't played in a while, but normally when I don't play golf, I feel like the Tiger Woods of 10 years ago. When I walk away from the golf course and I haven't played in a month or whatever it is, I've only played maybe two, 3 rounds, in the last 6 months or whatever it is, I kind of feel Tigerish, okay, that Tigerish feeling. And you guys know that fist pump Tiger. How many of you golfers ever feel like you go out there and on the driving range and after the first 2 holes, you feel like I could possibly make the PGA if I practice just a little bit more? That's how I'm feeling like right now. I feel that way right now. Matter of fact, I've got my golf simulator thing over here that I'm in my office, and I've been practicing my swing with my golf simulator here in the office, and just ready to go out there and get. Somebody said it, pips and birdies, okay? Pips and birdies. But it's going to be great, guys. It's going to be really, really, really exciting. That's right, Donnie is in trouble. Donnie's in trouble. So, but no, guys, I'm excited. I am. I'm really excited. Haven't seen, like I said, we haven't been together in a while, but let's get down to the money. All right. And we have a commercial. All right. We have a commercial that we have to run for, I don't know if they got the commercial ready, but I know that they did all of this stuff to get prepared. So I said, I know they're not going to be ready for my commercial. So I am going to do the commercial that is actually sponsoring this session of this Zoom. They're over there looking at each other like, uh-oh, am I in trouble? Yep, Mark, you're in trouble because you did not get prepared. So I'm going to take my microphone out of my ear so you guys can actually. And so our commercial is going to be brought to you. Hold on 1 second here. Our commercial is going to be brought to you. The topic of this training is, what is it called? What was the name of this training? Show me money. Show me the money, right? So we have somebody, we actually have sponsors, okay? And the sponsors of this is about what HB is about to do. He's going to show you guys. What a money reside, what a money reside, what a money reside. Okay, let me tell you something. I'm doing something real big this month. All right, now I know Jackie is dying. I know Jackie and Jayla are dying laughing right now because I know they've seen this meme all over the place. So we're going to show you guys where the money resides, where the money resides, where the money resides, where the money resides. I told you guys, T. Gray and Mark, they were not prepared. And so, you know what? I've got to train these guys a little bit more. I'll put my earpiece back in. Can you guys hear me? Okay, just want to make sure. So they said they want to see it one more time. I'll let you see it one more time. Here we go. Run that commercial back again. We're going to do like a Kendrick Lamar deal. There we go. All right. Back to back. Where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside. I bet you people are outside right now looking in the trunk, seeing, does HB put some money in my trunk? Does the money reside in the trunk? No. The money resides right there in the camera, right there in you. But I'm going to show you where you can get it. Is right here in the Ibüümerang compensation plan. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are ready to go, I want you to put a rocket or put go in the chat right now so we can talk to you about where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside. All right. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I know that here's one of the things I want to share with you guys, okay? One of the things I want to share with you is, all right, got a lot of people putting the rockets and let's go and things of that nature. Okay, so let's talk about this. Today, I want to cover and share some things with you that are very, very, very exciting and very, very, very important. All right. And I don't think I've actually done this. Maybe I did it one time since our company's been, since Ibüümerang, since we launched Ibüümerang. But I want to get back and I want to share with you really where the money resides in our compensation plan. You say, well, first of all, why? Why would you do a compensation plan training? Well, you know, what happens quite often is people, ambassadors, myself, this is anyone, and this is a normal thing, is sometimes we work so much in the business that we don't have a chance to work on the business. All right. We work so much in the business that we don't have a chance to work on the business. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is that we're so busy sometimes doing all of these intricate things, these detailed things inside the business, whereas we don't ever have a chance to step back and look at what is it that I'm actually building? What is it that I'm actually building? And so I want to talk to you about how we constructed this compensation plan, why we constructed this compensation plan, and how you can really maximize. So there's 5 components that I'm going to cover today. 5 components. And I want you to write these components down and make sure that I cover them. If you don't, and if there's a question that you have in the chat, Anna's going to be monitoring the chat and she's going to highlight some ideas, and Mark's going to be highlighting as well if there's some questions that really need to be addressed. But there's 5 things that we're going to cover here. The first thing that we want to talk about is I want to share with you the purpose. All right, purpose. Everything that you do must have a purpose, and a compensation plan, there's always a purpose behind it. Second things I want to talk to you about is the psychology of compensation plans. All right, the psychology of compensation plans. Third thing I want to talk to you about is qualifying. Now, I'm not just going to read through the manual. You can go to iboomhub.com and you can go get our PDF document and you can look at all the qualifications. But I'm going to share with you the inside, the psychology of qualifications, how everything ties together. I want to talk to you about the behavior of building, the building behavior that actually complements this compensation plan. And then I want to talk to you about how to position yourself to max out and get to what? Where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside, okay? And so those are the 5 things that we're going to accomplish today with today's conference call. Now, let's start with purpose. Let's start with the purpose of a compensation plan. When this compensation plan was designed, it was not designed specifically for Ibüümerang. You don't design a compensation plan for a company. You design a compensation plan for the culture and the future of your ambassadors, for the future of the people who are going to participate. You don't design it for the company or for a brand or anything of that nature. And so when was this compensation plan designed? This compensation plan, ladies and gentlemen, was designed in 2009. 2009 was when this compensation plan was designed, developed, and why was it designed? You say, well, that has nothing to do with Ibüümerang. Well, it does. It has everything to do with HB and the vision that I've always had for distributors and ambassadors who have been a part of my organization. One of the things that I've done in my career in network marketing is I have been a student of this industry, and I understand numbers quite well, and I understand the psychology of network marketing. I understand the psychology of compensation plans and the style of behavior that a compensation plan will actually promote, provided you understand what happens. So number one, the purpose of a compensation plan is very simple. The purpose of it is really to design behavior. That's the purpose. It's to design behavior, and it is also to reward the people who are participating in a certain style of behavior. And what do I mean by behavior? Some compensation plans you'll see where people sponsor a lot of people and there's no death. Why? Because the compensation plan, that's what they reward. There's no death. There's a lot of personally sponsoring that takes place because the biggest reward is in that. Some compensation plans, you see a lot of customers because there's very little depth to their compensation plan, but maybe the products that you sell, they've got maybe a 50% commission that they put on those. And so you have a lot of people with a lot of customers, or a few people with a lot of customers. Some compensation plans you'll see that there's very little width. You maybe have people, they only sponsor 3 or 4 or 5 people, but they just keep building depth, 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 depth. Okay. Some people, you'll see some compensation plans do very little because they reward you for just getting qualified, and maybe you can catch yourself a spot and almost get lucky. Some compensation promotes a lot of what I call hype. You'll see a lot of hype driven in those compensation plans because it's designed for speed, quick entry, immediate reward, but very little on the long-term back end. Guess what I want to share with you? All of those compensation plans work. So I'm not here to put down any compensation plan whatsoever. It's not my goal. My goal is to educate our field, educate our ambassadors so that you understand what it is that you have in your hands. Because I'll venture to say, probably 99% of those who are on this call have no idea how to make this compensation plan work. Have no idea why the compensation plan is the way that it is. Now, I'll take responsibility for that because that's not smart. That's not something that I'm proud of. That's not something you should be proud of. I am not here to say that you should understand every detail of the compensation plan, but you should at least understand why this compensation plan is designed the way that it is. So today is not for you understanding how to explain the compensation plan. I want to share something with you. The biggest residual income ever built in network marketing has been built by yours truly. That record still holds today. And guess how often I explain the compensation plan to the people? None. I was never the one to go into detail to explain how the compensation plan works. Why? Because that simply goes against all the logic of sales. It goes against all the logic of sales. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to understand this. I want you to try it as well. I want you to go out and do some dream building this weekend or over the next couple of weeks or so. And I'd like for you to go to your favorite car dealership. If you're into cars, go to your favorite car dealership. And maybe let's say you go to a McLaren car dealership, Ferrari, Lamborghini, whatever it may be, Rolls Royce or Bentley, Aston Martin, you name it, Range Rover, the BMW 7 Series, Mercedes-Benz, Maybach, whatever it may be, you go see your favorite car. Maybe you go to the Toyota dealership. You know, I always have to mess with Anna. And what you do is you go to your car dealership and go to the best salesperson that you can go to, right? And you tell them, say, hey, listen, I'm interested in this particular car over here. And if you get the best salesperson, here's what they'll do. They will never, ever, 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 ever try to explain to you how the car works. Never. Because the details of how it works, those details are not for the buyer. What they'll do is that they'll try to verbally give you an experience that they believe you will encounter one day and share with you what you can expect when you're driving this car. Let me give you an example. If I was your car dealership salesperson and you came in and you wanted to know about a Lamborghini, I'm not going to tell you what's the engine is made of. And to be honest with you, I don't even know the details of what the engine is made of. I don't. But what I will tell you is this, and I'll say, listen, have you ever maybe been exiting a freeway and taking a U-turn and actually slowed down because you didn't feel comfortable with the speed that you were going, feeling like maybe you're going to slide? Listen, here's what happens in this car. There's this place in Houston, if you ever take the West Belt, the West Park Tollway, you go into the Galleria, you know that little ramp that you go down, you go up under like a little tunnel? Listen, when you get to that tunnel in this car, I don't ever want you to slow down. What I want you to do is I want you to get in your far right lane and I want you to accelerate and steer towards your left side. You can actually take that corner at 100 miles per hour and you'll feel like you're going 25 miles per hour, body still in place. It is the best rush you'll ever have. I can tell you one thing, it's worth it just to try that one time. Now, to a car enthusiast, to a person who's looking at buying a supercar, a fast car, does that give them an experience of what they can anticipate? Or should I tell them that it's a V12, it's a 750 horsepower, and it's twin turbo engines. The engine was made over in Italy, and they've got a serial number for the person who was on the assembly line putting this particular car together. The stitching was hand stitched by a guy, who stitches 25 stitches a minute. Who cares? Who cares? That's the equivalent of getting a person in front of the plan and sharing with them, well, I want to share with you how our generational bonus works. The generational bonus works like this. When you sponsor X number of people and you create this particular rank right here and that rank right here, and they've got 3 levels of sapphires down below them, you're going to actually be rewarded on your first generation at 2%, your second generation at 3%. None of that matters. None of that matters. Okay? None of that matters. And so, but if I told them, hey, listen, getting you started, here's the thing that I want to share with you. What we're going to share with you is this here. When you build a combination of people who are going to be in love with our product, let me ask you a question. You saw those testimonials of people, who turned $500 into $7,000, people who turned $300 into $2,000. Let me ask you a question. Do you think you know quite a few people like that who would like to have results like that? We can't guarantee them, but would love to have that opportunity. Yes. Here's what we're going to do. What we're going to do is this. We're going to identify a bunch of people who want that result. We're going to have a bunch of people that we're going to identify who also would like to share those results with people. And what we're going to do over a period of time, we're going to actually put them into a system. We're going to train and educate them. And what's going to take place is this. You ever see families who worry about college for their kids? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to solve that issue, because these people who are making this type of money will never want to let go of this particular technology. And this is where the security of your kids' college comes from. Because as long as they're providing for their kids in college, your kids are going to be taken care of. See, that is a better story of explaining the comp plan. Not, okay, well, the binary works like, now, are you going to have some compensation plan experts who are going to ask for some details? Well, of course. And that's a whole different that's a whole different issue. But when I'm talking to the majority of the people, and here's the majority of the people in network marketing, the majority of the people in network marketing, I want you to understand, are people who are looking to make themselves an extra $1,000 per month. An extra $1,000 per month. That's what they're looking for. And what happens is we're treating every person who joins the company as if they want to be a diamond. Do you know less than 1% of the people ever become diamond? That doesn't mean that only one of you can become a diamond. Any one of you who choose can become a diamond. But the facts are, in any company, that's not Ibüümerang, that's in any company. Less than 1% become a diamond. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that you're designing the plan, the explanation of the experience for the masses. The explanation of the experience for the masses. You want to get them psychologically and you want to get them emotionally attached to the activity, not how the plan actually works. I don't ever explain how the plan works. I don't. I never have. Those of you who saw me on the last tour that I did, tell me how. I didn't even explain the binary. Why? I never have. And most of you are sitting there thinking, well, in my presentation, I've got to explain how they get paid and how the compensation plan works. Well, my record still exists of the most money ever made on a residual basis in network marketing history. And I never explained it then. I never did. I simply went through and I gave a person an experience. I gave them a test drive of activities that they'll do. And this is why I always ask closing questions to the people. The compensation plan. Here's the best part of the compensation plan. This is the best part of the compensation plan. Mark, I want you to go ahead and just dialogue here with me real quick, okay? So Mark's in the audience. Mark just saw the presentation. And Mark's in the audience. Here's how I explain the compensation plan. I want you guys to record this. Make sure you're recording this so you'll understand where the money resides. Here's the comp plan right here. Here's how you explain the comp plan, okay? Mark, let me ask you a question. Did you like what you see here?
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. How would you like to make money? Would you like to make money slow? Would you like to make money fast? Let me ask you a question, Mark. If I could show you how to put $300 to $500 in your pocket on a Tuesday, which Tuesday would be best for you? This one or next Tuesday? This Tuesday. Mark, let me ask you a question. This Tuesday, we'll show you how to put about $300 to $500 in your pocket. Would you be okay if I showed you how to make maybe $2,000 for the first month? Great. So what we'll do is this. We're going to take this Tuesday and do it, and I'll take the next 3 Tuesdays, and we're going to duplicate the exact same thing. So what I just did is I just gave him a compensation plan experience of the next 4 weeks is going to represent $300 to $500 per week for him. What is that? $1,200 to $2,000. That's the compensation plan. Do you think he's sitting there as a newbie, as a newbie wondering, okay, well, how am I going to structure? Do I go 15 wide? Do I go 8 levels? No, that's not for him. That's for me to know. It's for me to know. It's not for him to know. It's for me to lead and for me to show him how to get there. He doesn't know anything about the compensation plan except $300 to $500 on Tuesday night, $1,200 to $2,000 this month. Do you like that compensation plan, Mark?
Yes.
Yes, that's the comp plan, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that is the compensation plan, right? And so the thing I want you guys understanding here, let me go down to my comments here so I can see the comments coming in. There we go. Somebody says, I have to practice the correct verbiage. Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. See, here's what you should practice. You want to practice saying these things. Why? Because it's what works. It's all I've ever done. The issue that we have, I want to share something with you. The issue that we have is some of you don't know why people who are top earners in companies sometimes are the top earners. See, we don't have a company here where you come here and we give a person a leg. We don't do that. There's nobody who's come to Ibüümerang and I put them over anybody in the company. And so if I did that and the person goes out and promote, hey, I'm making X number of dollars, but they'll never say, here's the disclaimer. Oh, I joined this company. They put me on top of everyone. And all I had to do was work this other little small leg. I know it's not the same for you, but I'm going to share with you how much money I'm making. So it'll be exciting for you, but I'll never tell you that I actually can't duplicate and show you how to do what I've done, because that means that I'd have to make sure you go above me. And what happens is we get sometimes so distracted by what we see as a check in network marketing, and you start listening to the wrong thing, thinking, I need to explain compensation. That's not true. No. That's not how network marketing works. Wow, I'm talking loud and excited. That was a swallow. You're supposed to sip it. Woo! I almost burned my tonsils on that one. I maybe did burn my tonsils. Take some water after that one. So what I'm saying, why am I talking about this? Because guys, I want to educate you on becoming powerful. I want to educate you on how to represent simplicity for who your marketplace is. Okay? That's the compensation plan. If a person came to the meeting if a person came to the meeting and they listened to the presentation, it's your job not to talk them out of it. One of the things that we do often is that we talk our prospects out of the business. Because you think the more you say, the more they're going to have interest. And I watch people, even on the tour, I've watched people just throw up all on their prospects, and they get so giddy and they get so excited and they lose the posture. And the person is sitting there thinking, wow, that seems like they've never had a person show up to see this meeting. Maybe I'm the only sucker that's ever accepted the invitation. You want to be cool. You want to be calm. You want to be excited, but not giddy. You want to be, a friend, not too friendly. You want to be, business-like, but not overly serious. You want to be like, it's not a really big deal, but you're excited if they do it for them, not for you. And I want you to remember this. Though I want you to remember this, when you're talking to your prospect, I want you to remember this. Your words are like bullet holes in the hull of a boat. The more you talk, every word that you say or every sentence that you say is a hole in the boat. And so that means that some of you are going to be rambling and you're going to be putting holes in the boats like a machine gun on automatic. And you're going to watch the prospect boat sink right in front of your very eyes. Guys, can we turn that off? Okay. And so what I do is, remember, when you let the presentation do its work, your goal is to fact find, to ask questions, to get them focused on what they just saw, not for you to talk them into the business. I've never talked the person into the business. Just like I just asked Mark. Mark, let me ask you a question. If I could show you how to put $500 in your pocket, $300 to $500 in your pocket, which day would be better, Tuesday or Thursday? See, am I making a statement? No. Mark, that sounds great, doesn't it? Mark, making this type of money by pushing a button, is that something that you believe you can get good at, pushing a button? Yeah. Well, why don't you learn how to ask that question? And I'll do it in conversation. It's Anna. Anna, I know you've never been involved in network marketing before. It's your first time here, but let me ask you a question. If it was as easy as pushing a button at the right time, do you think you can learn how to push the button at the right time if we taught you? Well, listen, let me ask you a question. Do you know other people who'd like to put their kids through college or who'd like to take care of their parents the way you want to with this money here? Yeah. So I have another question for you. Yeah. If I could show you how to empower those people, and if I can show you how to put $300 to $500 in your pocket, and if I can do that this week here, which day will be better for you, Tuesday or Friday? Tuesday? Now, Anna, you seem to be a little ambitious. So if I actually bumped it up and said, hey, listen, let's make, anywhere between $1,200 and $2,000, this month, would that be better for you as well? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to commit to the next 4 Tuesdays putting that type of money in your pocket. I'll share with you at the end what I'm going to need from you. But would you like that? Okay, yeah. Comp plan's over. Why don't you? So here's what I want to share with you. And I want to give you a concept here. Many of you are familiar with, martial arts. You see MMA and all this kind of stuff, karate, taekwondo, Aikido, Krav Maga. I mean, all of these different things here. Here's what I want to ask you. I want to ask you, if you had an opponent and your opponent, they had 50 different moves that they could do to submit you. And over the last 15 years, they've been practicing these 50 different moves. Which person would you be more afraid of? The one who had 50 different moves, or the one who had one move that they've practiced over the last 15 years every single day and perfected it? So why are you trying to be the person with 50 different statements of closing? Why are you not honing in on what works? You can give me any one of your prospects. Put me on the phone with your prospect, ladies and gentlemen. And as long as you haven't talked them out of it, I'm going to get on the phone and I am going to let them walk themselves into the business, because what I've practiced is the art of asking questions. The one who asks the questions is the one who's in control. The one who says the most is the one who's undisciplined. An undisciplined salesperson is a skinny salesperson or has skinny kids. What do I mean about that? Their kids ain't eating that much because you're so undisciplined. It means that you're grasping for straws. You're saying statements that you've heard on Instagram or Facebook. You all of these statements that you've heard all over the place. You're thinking you can grab all of these cool sayings. And most of us would rather be cool and sound good than be rich. It's just the nature, and that's not our organization. That's just people in general. I want to share with you the art and the science, getting rich, and how to use this comp plan to do it. So the comp plan, the psychology of our comp plan is from the very beginning is designed to simplify earning money so that you take it a step at a time. You don't give a person all of the steps of all the things that they have to do. You never explain it to them. It's the same thing that I do when I find a leader who's already gotten qualified or sponsored a brand new person. I'll give you an example. I know Elliot just got some people started recently. I was hearing through the grapevine, and Elliot, if you've got people who you're getting started who've already sponsored for, going 4 deep, whatever it is, don't show them the qualifications for Sapphire to become a Sapphire. Lead them to building the structure of a Sapphire and then have them do it. And once they qualify, let them know, hey, listen, you probably don't know this, but you're a Sapphire. What? Do you know that I've had people that I've led to hit Diamond who didn't even know the qualifications of Diamond, but they did some of the things I'm going to share with you in a moment. And once they connected the dots, Diamond showed up, and I called them up and said, hey, listen, just want to let you know you hit Diamond. Yeah, I've done this probably at least about 12 times. Because I'm not going to sit there and explain to a brand new person all of these details. I'm not going to fill their heads with how many gallons of oil or liters of oil is in the chamber. I'm not going to tell them how many gallons of gas the gas tank holds. I'm not going to tell them where the carpet fibers are made from. No. All of those are things that are conversation pieces later on. But if I want them to buy the car, I sell the experience. And in this conversation with Mark and this conversation with Hannah, I sold the experience. They already kind of feel like they have made the money. They're that close to getting the money. I'll give you an example, and I'll give you a piece of pearls of wisdom that I shared last night with T. Ray and Mark and several other people we had here last night. I shared with the guy last night about experiences, and he was asking me a question, and I want to give you experiences of how you sell things and how you make people and influence people to move without touching them. If I showed you a picture, if I just held up and showed you a picture of a cup of coffee, this is not a cup of coffee, but if I held up and showed you a picture of a cup of coffee, guess what? You'll see it. And once I move the picture away, you'll forget about it. You'll forget about it. If I let you see me drinking a cup of hot coffee, and I kept drinking it, you'll remember it. But if I took this hot coffee and accidentally spilled it in your lap, you'll never forget this cup of hot coffee. Why are you guys working on the thing that people's going to remember the least? Why? See, the person who had the hot coffee and had an interaction with the hot coffee, well, remember, there's a difference between you'll remember something and never forgetting something. You want to give a person an experience. And so I use my words to draw an experience with people. Use your words. Okay. So let's get down to some of what we have here. I want to share with you there's several different styles of compensation plans as well. Our compensation plan, well, let me talk about the different types of compensation plans there are. And maybe if we can show this where I am now, and you're going to do that for me, Mark? Okay. Got my whiteboard here. There we go. Okay. So back that up, and I can push this forward. There we go. So with compensation plans, there's different type of compensation plans that you have. Okay. You're going to have the very first compensation plan was called the breakaway. The breakaway plan. Okay. I'm not going to describe what the breakaway plans are, but the breakaway plans are plans with companies like Amway, companies like Mary Kay. And the simple part of breakaway compensation plans were compensation plans that when you have a leader below you that hits a certain rank, they take all of that volume, break away from you, and you only get a bonus on that volume. That volume really never counts anymore for your compensation. That's why it forced people to bill wide. By the way, the breakaway compensation plans are the hardest compensation plans in network marketing. Hardest. This is the hardest plan to build in network marketing. However, the companies that are the largest companies in the world, guess what they are? Breakaway compensation plans. Why? Because it forces a certain behavior. Remember what I told you? Compensation plans are designed to force a behavior, right? The next compensation plan is what we call the uni level. Uni level means one person on a particular level in that spot. Okay, a uni level. A uni level just means that you sponsor a person, and that person sponsors a person, and that person sponsors a person, and each one of them, they represent one particular level in your organization. Uni level plans, okay, uni level plans was the second evolution of compensation plans. Actually, they first started off with almost like affiliates because no compensation plans in the very beginning went deep. They didn't go deep. And then they developed compensation plans, and the evolution of compensation plans started with Amway of being able to take a compensation plan and being able to pay people for all the depth in the organization. And they developed what's called the breakaway. And then they said, well, let's make it a little bit easier. And they came up with what's called a uni level. And then from the uni level compensation plans, okay, you had other plans that was called coded bonuses. Coded, and all of these are based off of uni level. Coded bonus plans. Coded bonus plans are basically compensation plans that say, hey, listen, when your first group of people that you sponsor are going to represent one code, your bonuses are going to come out of this group of people, or your bonuses won't come out of this group of people because these group of people are going to be coded to your sponsor. So your sponsor makes the majority of the money out of these people here. And then you're going to be coded to the people you sponsor and the first people that they sponsor. Those plans built real big because it forced behavior of people making sure they got to their code to get to the money. Don't worry about it, understanding all of these, but that's a coded bonus plan. Then you had what was called, and there's many other ones, but then you had what was called the invention of the binary. The binary compensation plan was a little different because the binary compensation plan introduced speed. What has happened is the evolution of compensation plans have made a perception of being easier. Perception. It is what I call the social media of compensation plans. It's a perception of wealth, but not necessarily so. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, there's only 100 pennies in a dollar. There's only 4 quarters in a dollar. There's only 10 dimes in a dollar. And no matter what compensation plan that you're in, if there's 100 pennies, the company has to keep a certain number of those pennies. And the company is going to distribute the remainder of those pennies to the people. The compensation plan determines how many of the pennies left over are distributed to leaders, how many are distributed to people who are aggressive recruiters, how many are distributed to people who build leadership and longevity for the company. That's what a compensation plan does. Some of us look at compensation plans and say, oh, that plan pays more. Really? Maybe it does because it's got a bigger, what I call fast start, and it does pay more. Maybe they have a 40% fast start. You have a person buy $1,000 pack, you automatically receive $400. There's plans out there like that. You get $400. Now I want you to imagine this. If there's $1,000 that the person spent minus the cost of the product, let's just say that there's $1,000 and there's no cost of the product, and let's just say that you got $400. That means that there's $600 left over. How much of the $1,000 do you think the company needs to operate? The company is going to at least need 50%. Most companies take way more than that. So if that means that the company has $500 that they need, that means that there's only $100 left to distribute to the upline for that person who just came in. So if you got an upline of 5 or 6, there's not a lot of volume, there's not a lot of money left over to distribute. So in these type of plans, what you'll have is you'll have some good recruiters, but no depth. Why? There's not enough money to go deep. It doesn't pay you to go deep. So you have people who go wide. And then you have people say, wow, that plan pays more. Does it really pay more? On the fast start, it does. Okay. So I want you to understand that, is this bad or good? Neither. It's not bad nor good. It's just is what it is. But you'll very seldom see plans that pay a healthy fast start bonus like this that has a lot of people making a lot of money. Okay? Just doesn't happen. So the binary introduces what's called speed. Speed. The beginning binaries in network marketing all flushed volume every week. There was no stored volume. So whatever it is that you produce on one side of your business, at the end of that pay cycle, that volume flushed, and you started over every week. Every week you started over. And so then they introduced what was called the matrix plan. The matrix plan was more like a trinary, or sometimes you'd have like 3x5 matrix, or 3x7, or 5x7, or 5x9 matrix. And the matrix plan introduced laziness. Why? Because the matrix said you only need to go 5 wide. And so what would happen is you would go 5 wide and you would start giving away your people to your group who wasn't qualified to fill in your matrix. And so you'd have a bunch of people sitting there waiting on the heavy recruiters. When are you going to place the people to fill up my matrix? Because you already got your 5, but you sponsored 20 people, and are you going to place the remainder of them below me? So what happens is when a matrix fills up, recruiting slows down. Why? I don't have to recruit because somebody above me is going to fill in my group. I call the matrix plan the socialism plan. Because it's like the upline is the government, and the group at the bottom wants the government to make sure that they fulfill their income. Is it a bad plan or good plan? No, it's all, if you're lazy and you want to be fed by the government or your upline, then that's a plan that's designed and it's perfect for you. Okay? Then you had these plans that were called one-line plans. They got one line. It says, man, jump in, and these were hype plans. One line means that it's not a binary. It's just like you get in and everybody get in, and you can jump in while they're in momentum. Everybody has a holding tank. And if you jump in now, every person who comes in the company is down below you in your organization. And so those are what I call smoke and mirrors plans. Why? Because it shows a person, I got 1,000 people that just joined in my group. Why? It's fear of loss only, but there's no money in that for you unless you produce. So you have the facade that you've got all of these people because it's only one line, but the money, they have to now structure one of these, a breakaway, a unilevel, coded bonus, or matrix. They don't tell you about that because it's only the one-line plan. Okay? And there's several other plans, but these are the predominant plans that you have in network marketing. So what I want to share with you, what we've done, okay, is we've put together what's called a hybrid plan. A hybrid. And the hybrid plan that we actually utilize is we utilize parts of the uni level. We use part of the, obviously the binary. We use part of coded bonus, and I'll share that with you, coded bonus. And we mixed those components together to produce a very healthy plan. Let's talk about the Ibüümerang compensation plan, and let's talk about why it's the way that it is. And so I'll explain to you where the money resides. These guys have already given you the disclaimer that I don't need to do, but I want to talk to you about how to earn and how to build, what behavior are the qualifying, and then we're going to talk about the building behavior that's in our business. We all know that there's 7 different ways to actually earn money in the Ibüümerang compensation plan. There's 7. Retail bonuses, I'm not going to explain that a lot, but let's talk about our philosophy when it comes to retail. Our retail bonuses typically have somewhere about 10%, maybe 10 to 20% retail commissions that are on our plans. So what happens is you could look at our bonus and compare it to another comp plan and say, well, this company says, man, they'll pay 30%, 40%. That's cool. There's still only 100 pennies in a dollar. 100 pennies in a dollar. So that means that if I took and said 40% or 50% retail commissions, that means I got to take either lower CV, or I got to take more money out of the volume for the binary, or more money out of the volume of the unit. Why? I can't pay 101 pennies when there's only 100 pennies available. And remember, the company has to keep minimum 50 of those pennies to run the company. So there's 50 pennies left. How are you going to distribute them? The next is what we call the Fast Start Accelerator bonus. I'm going to explain to you why we did this, because most of you don't understand that and don't use it. This right here is a genius plan. You say, well, HB, you're going to say it's genius because you created it. You're right. Dual team, that's our binary. I'll talk to you about our binary. How did we structure our binary? It's simple. And what are the benefits of our binary? I'll talk to you about our uni level. We covered that. I'll talk to you about our leadership infinity bonus that we have. This is part of the coding plan that I've talked to you about. The leadership development bonus, infinity bonus. Keyword, infinity. You read right past that. None of you have ever even looked at it and say, how can I get paid to infinity? Not this, okay, well, when you hit this level, you get a 1% infinity bonus that only typically less than 1% of the people of a plan ever achieve. The infinity bonuses that you'll find in plans typically are designed for the very, very, very top person who achieves that bonus. And typically the company will actually give it away to the master distributor for it's really what we call a master distributor bonus. Why? Here's what I'm going to reward that person for being a master distributor so that they get paid something on everybody in the entire organization. I know you didn't know that, but that's what happens. So this is when you see some of your top earners, and it's nothing wrong with it. I'm just kind of giving you guys the inside scoop. So if I'm the master distributor in the company, hey, listen, you know what? I want to make sure I have a 1% override. So they call it a 1% because they know that person's responsible for putting together conference calls and all of this stuff, and they reward that. We put an infinity bonus in that you can get at the level of Ruby, and it's more than 1% of your entire organization's volume. Did you know that? Put something in the chat if you knew it. If you said, "Yep, I know it. I know exactly how to get to it." Let me know. If say yes or no, I want feedback. Do you know how to get to that infinity bonus, and you know exactly how it works? I know you don't know. And the ones who said yes, you don't know either. You don't know. Because if you knew, you'd be doing it. Why do you think? I'll explain. Let me explain something to you. My residual check, okay? My residual check was over $1.1 million a month in residual income, not including binary. $800,000 of that money came from bonus number 5. Hello. And I hate talking about these numbers because I don't want people getting all sidetracked with the big numbers. I want you guys to understand something. This right here is the biggest commission and network marketing today, bar none. You can't name a company, comp plan, product that will pay you more. If we took bonus 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7 out of our plan and said our company will only utilize method number 5. It's the biggest money in any company. Why? Because it's forced to pay out the money on every single dollar of volume that comes in. It forces the company to pay the money out. You don't need this one. You don't need this one. You don't need this one. You just need this one. Let me ask you a question, and I want you to be honest with me because I want feedback. How many of you have ever studied bonus number 5? Have you ever studied it? So if you haven't studied it, you don't know why you should be building the way that you build. See, there's psychology to it. Everything that we have in our company in terms of our culture, in terms of the style, in terms of how we train, in terms of recognition, it all contributes to this one bonus. If you do the things the right way, this bonus will pay you. I'll explain a little bit more. I will. Adam, I got you covered. I'm going to explain how that bonus works. It's my favorite bonus. Out of $1.1 million of residual, okay? Let me explain. This bonus right here, my residual consisted of this bonus. It consisted of this bonus. It consisted of a matching bonus that's not in here, and I'll tell you why there's no matching bonus in our plan. You said, "Oh, HB, you took the matching bonus out." I'll tell you why. I gave it to you for free without qualifying for it. I took them through our old plan and showed them where my money came from. Do you know in my other plan that I designed it, the uni-level plan, the first levels was we got paid 5% on level 1, 5% on level 2, 5% on level 3, 5%. That's how I made my money. And then we got a matching bonus for those who were in our group who did it. And I said in Ibüümerang, I'm not going to confuse them with a matching bonus. I'm going to give them 100% matching bonus already. So instead, I doubled the money. I said 10%. Or what do we pay? 10, 10, 10. I doubled it. I doubled the number from the very beginning. No qualification, no need to qualify for it. It's just already doubled. It's 10%. Plan I made the most money, 5%. Double the money. So here's what I want to share with you. So what I'm telling you is I built to make this grow, because if I can get paid to infinity on this and there's no caps on this, let me make sure that I structure the group so that this right here continues to pay me. And I'll get to that in a moment. Let's start with the beginning. We talked about retail. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. Fast Start Accelerator bonus. Why do we put a Fast Start Accelerator and how does it work? Let's talk about why. You guys are going to understand this now. So I'm going to use a combination of this and a regular sheet of paper here because I want you to understand something. Many of you here, if you look at Fast Start Accelerator, here's how it works. Some of you are looking at the numbers and you're comparing this to another plan. Don't do that. You can't compare, and say, well, you know what? A Lamborghini has a faster takeoff than a Rolls Royce. Which one's better? They're both incredible cars. It all depends on what you're looking for. We put both. We have what's called the Lamborghini and we have the Rolls Royce. The Lamborghini is on the front end. It gets you, that's why we call it Fast Start Accelerator. That means you're accelerating, Fast Start Accelerating. And I'll share with you why and how. On the back end, it's smooth sailing. That's why my residual income, do you know right now, still to this day, my residual check, and have never done anything, haven't sponsored a person in 5 years with the company that I designed that. And we were checking the other day, and I think my check was $137,000 for the month. My residual check. No growth. None. It's only customer volume. No, very little leadership that's there. And I'm not putting the company down. I'm just sharing with you. I haven't touched it in 5 years. And it's $137,000. And right now, there's not enough volume for me to even qualify at the top level. Top level is $5 million a month. My position is not even doing $3 million a month. So I'm not even getting the top commission there. It's smooth. It's consistent. It's solid when you build it. If you build it on the foundation that we're talking about, it sticks, it stays, it's solid. It doesn't go like this. It's smooth. So Fast Start Accelerator, how does that work? In most plans, what you'll see is a fast start bonus. So here in this example, you see a person joins at $100. Our kit is a part of that. The kit is $49. That is company money for administration and all that kind of stuff. We just included it here. So really, this is $50. That's why we put 30 CV in this plan. That's why we did that. So let me explain to you. So you're looking and you're saying, wow, I sponsor someone, I get $4.50. Do you know there's another company I can sponsor somebody at $100 and they'll give me $30? How many people at $100 do you plan on sponsoring? 100? All right, cool. You made $3,000. So is that where your focus is, on how many people you're going to personally sponsor? It is the average person in network marketing sponsors 2.7 people. That's why we don't put all of the money into your personal production. There's a psychology behind this. I understand what I'm doing with the plan. Let me share with you where the money resides, where the money resides, where the money resides. Executive plan. Executive, how much does our executive plan cost? $400? You receive First level commission of $31. HB, at least give me 20%, at least give me $80. CEO plan, $1,350, it pays out $117, about 8.5%. Okay, about 8.5%. Is that a lot? All depends. Is that a lot really in comparison? No, it's not. Not where the money is. This is a network marketing company, not an affiliate program. If this was an affiliate program, I'd have those numbers. A person comes in at $400, I'd pay them $200 because it will be an affiliate program. And an affiliate program is designed for a person who's an influencer to have maybe 300, 400, 500 personal direct sales. That's where the money's at. Affiliates and direct sales, they don't understand how to build teams and leadership. Those are not leadership-based plans. Those are plans, hey, I'm a sponsor monster. That's all I know how to do. And you get a lot of money for that. Here's where the money resides. When you build an organization, you structure and build an organization. So on and so forth. So you guys see what I'm saying here. All of these just represent circles here and people, okay? I want to share with you how to become a professional networker by understanding how to design your money. You don't have to be a big sponsor here. I want to show you, if you understand the psychology of this plan, you will work differently from now on. So here's what happens. And I'm going to show you in a moment how all of this comes together. Why do we have a fast start accelerator? Because we have a binary. That's the reason. I've got 30 plus years of experience in network marketing. I've succeeded at either one of all of these different types of plans here. But let me share with you why Fast Start Accelerator. Because how many people, and don't be afraid to admit this here, because we need transparency. How many of you have ever in your binary started a team of business and that one side started to grow from somebody you sponsored? You also sponsored some people over here, but maybe that side died and you were kind of like one-legged. Raise your hand if that ever happened to you before. Say yes, or me, definitely. And a lot of other people right now are just typing slow, wondering, should I expose myself? Okay. We know what happens to 70 to 80%, maybe even 85% of the people in the industry. That's why a binary, that's the purpose of binaries. It creates so much breakage. Binaries are designed for big builders. It's not designed for my mother. It's not designed for my auntie. It's not no, I'm just being very candid with you. It's not. Why? Because I've got to make sure two teams are building. Two teams. So here's what happened. I said, I'm going to fix this. And my experience before building a team, I had people who had built they built one side of their business. They had maybe 6 people sponsored over there, but that 6 people, that team between those 6 people was doing about $1 million a month in volume. On the other side, they put people over there too. They just couldn't get that team growing. Their binary check, you know how much it was? 0. Why? Because the team over here was not growing. They got 6 different personally sponsored legs on this side, and they thought that they were going to be balanced, but they didn't know who was going to build it. There was one leg responsible for the majority of the volume. They're contributing $12 million a year to a company who's paying them no money. Is that fair? Am I getting too passionate over here? Do I need to calm it down? This is my second coffee, guys. Let me calm it down and let me be a CEO for you. Ladies and gentlemen, they were producing $12 million in volume and revenue to the company. And our company said they don't deserve any commission. And so we actually took that money and went and we bought nice things for us. That's what the company CEO's responsibility is. And so that's how binaries work. You say, well, Mr. C, no, you guys don't like that. Yeah, okay. Energy, please, right? Okay, I just want to make sure. So I decided I don't like that. I had several people, they got no money out of the binary. I'm like, I didn't get in this business so that you can contribute $12 million. Now, you didn't do all the work, but you did start it and you got no money. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to make sure you get paid along the way until you fix your binary. So here's how I did it. I said, I'll create the Fast Start Accelerator when we started Ibüümerang. And the Fast Start Accelerator says, because you have started this team over here, you're not getting a binary check. And so if this happens to you, you're still getting paid out of your lesser team. Out of your team that you built, even though you're not getting the binary check, because anytime anybody over here sponsors someone, you get paid. If you had a regular binary, you would not get paid. Why? You got to have volume on the other side to offset the commissions for the volume over here. You got to have both teams working at the same time. So I said, no, I'm going to make sure the Fast Start Accelerator. Matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, here, do you know when we first launched Ibüümerang? Do you know our binary? We didn't launch. Our coding wasn't right because we had to launch and our binary was not in place. Do you know? I don't know if you guys remember this. When we first launched Ibüümerang, we launched only with this plan. Jackie, do you remember that? Dr. Trish, you remember that? We launched with basically a Fast Start Accelerator. You remember how big the checks were at that launch? That was it. It was no binary. It was no binary. Why? Every person got a check. If you sponsored someone and somebody you sponsored someone, you got paid regardless of which team they were on. Didn't matter. So I said, I'm going to keep that along with the binary. So that's what the Fast Start Accelerator does. Let me share with you as a professional builder what you should be looking at. As a professional builder, you should be looking at building depth in your organization, building width and building depth simultaneously. So in this example, here's what happens. If you should notice, here's what you do. Those of you who are saying, I'm going to share what you should be doing as a novice, intermediate, and as a big builder. As a novice, you should be focusing on building wide, making sure that you can get to 4 wide and then 4 deep, 4 wide and 4 deep. Okay. Now, if you did that through our Fast Start Accelerator, you're getting paid on every single one of those people, even if all 4 was on one side. And that's not the smart thing to do, but even if all 4 was on one side. As an intermediate person in the organization, you should be really solidifying your structure of your width and knowing how to drive depth. What do I mean? As you build your width, and we know we have a binary, but I'll show you the difference. You, as an intermediary person, you should be looking for, who is it that I could teach to do this? When you're a novice, you want to do it yourself first. Why? There's a thing called show, shadow, duplicate. I have to do it first. Then I'll show somebody, I'll shadow them, and I'll duplicate. So that's what you want to do. Who can I find in depth that I could, okay, this person's ready, so I'm going to teach them how to go 4 wide, 4 deep in the leg. Watch how all of this comes together. Why? As a leader, here's what you should be saying to yourself. If you do what we talked about, the 2020 plan, when you identify a person who can do this, this is the person that you start developing to go 20 wide, 2020 plan, 40, 20 on one side, 20 on the other, over a period of time. Why? Because the wider you go and the more leaders you have go wide, the more people you have on each level. The dream in this plan is to get to your 7th level. And and what you should be saying is, I can't wait until I have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people on my 7th level. You say, why? Some of you haven't even paid attention and looked at this. I put the cheat code in this plan. This is the same plan that everybody else has. If you notice, the percentages that we have go down. First level, you get 15%, you get 3%. On your second level, 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%. And whoa, on your 7th level, you get 4%. That means that every single person on your 7th level, and which is bigger, the bottom or the top? The bottom. And so now I've got 2,000 people, 3,000 people, 4,000 people, 5,000 people, 6,000 people, 7,000 people, 20,000 people on my 7th level. If I've got 10,000 people on my 7th level, or 1,000 people on my 7th level, and we run a promotion, or we run, we're out there sponsoring, we're in the white zone. I mean, the white zone. And let's just say out of those 1,000 people, 250 people join the business. Do you know that's 250 people that I get a fast start bonus on? Let me ask you a question. Would you rather get 40% fast start on the 2.7 people that you're going to sponsor, or 4% on 250 people this month? Well, what's going to happen the next month? Another 250 or 300 people. Well, what's going to happen the month after that? Another 350 to 400 people. So what happens is, you're now getting a fast start for teaching your group on how to build with. And so the fast start just doesn't come to one person. We took the fast start and said, as a leader, we're going to reward you for teaching people how to recruit. That's why we separated the fast start bonus on all of these different levels. And so you don't have to be a high rank. What's the qualifications? To get to your 7th level, you need 10 actives. That means it's not about becoming a ruby, diamond, or emerald. It's get 10 wide. So we're already incentivizing people to get 10 wide so that they can max out this fast start accelerator plan. If I've got 10 legs and my 10 legs went 7 deep, by the time I get to 7 deep, that may be 700 people. I now get 700 fast start bonuses if they've sponsored one. I didn't sponsor anybody, they did, but they got a fast start and I got a portion of their fast start. Do you guys understand that plan? Do you guys understand the psychology behind that? I want to know if you don't understand it, let me know, because maybe it's I'm oversimplifying it, and maybe I kind of take it for granted of my experience here, but I don't want to do that. I want to really be transparent so that you understand what you have. Somebody said, can I explain it again? Yes, I'll do that, Tommy. Here we go. Okay. Raise your, put it in the chat. If you have sponsored less than 20 people, just say me. If you sponsored less than 20 people, put me. Okay. So this is going to give you an example. Okay. This is the majority of the people. All right. Now, most of you sponsored less than 20 people. That means that in this plan, no matter how much we paid, even if we gave you 100% of the money, we took a loss. That means that none of you, will actually have received more than 21 fast start bonuses because you sponsored less than 20 people. Some of you sponsored 3, some of you sponsored 4, some of you sponsored 5. That means that you've only gotten 4 fast start bonuses the entire time you've been in the company. So if that's you, this is the way it looks. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. But What if you got people who sponsored their 2? This guy sponsored 3. This person hadn't sponsored anybody. This person here sponsored 1. This person here sponsored 6. When they sponsored some people, now you've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You now just got 11 fast start bonuses, smaller in amounts, but it's only your second level. You haven't sponsored 20 people, but you've got 11 plus your 5. You're now up to 16 fast start bonuses that you received. What happens when they sponsor theirs? And let's just say on their third level now that they've sponsored an average of 3 apiece. So now that's 33 people on your third level. You got 33 plus 11 plus 5. So that's 33 plus 11, 44 plus 5 is 39. So now you've got 39 fast start bonuses that have come in. Would you rather have 39 fast start bonuses or 5? See, some of you, this is what you do. In the plan, you repeat things in the plan, but you don't follow it. You would say to yourself, it's better to have 1% of 100 people's effort than 100% of my own. Well, why is it that you want a much larger fast start bonus if you believe in that principle? I'd rather have 1% of 1,000 people's fast start than 100% of my own. 1% of 1,000 people's fast start than 100% of my own. That's why this is designed. If you don't plan to build, if you only plan to just personally sponsor and hope those people don't sponsor anybody, I would vote for as much fast start bonus as possible. But if I am going to sponsor people and have them enroll other people, I don't want to get all the money from what I earn. Why? Because there's always going to be more people enrolled through my group than what I personally enroll. I didn't have this bonus in my last plan. In my last plan, I was about 200 wide, 200 and something wide. And I had over 1 million people to join my team. I don't know how many people I had down my first 7 levels, but I probably had maybe about, maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of about 200,000 people between my first and my 7th level. If I had this bonus, do you know what that means? I would have gotten over 200,000 fast start bonuses. Hello. Do you not think I know what I'm talking about when I construct a comp plan? It's designed for you. It's not designed. You got to stop being selfish, thinking about how much do I make from my own efforts. That's called a job. Don't go get a job comp plan. Get a plan that pays you and rewards you for what you should be doing. This doesn't matter if it's on your pay leg or your strong leg. Anywhere that you have built, you're going to get paid. It offsets when you're not making a binary, but you still have production. I'm still in the game. Coach, I'm still in the game. I still have life coming to me. Coach, right now I've got this one leg. My other leg stopped running, but at least I'm getting something. I'm making sure I'm working depth in this leg, in this group right here. And I'm going to bring on some more people. But coach, you know what? On my 4th level, we had 10 people join last week. You know what? I got 10 commissions at 2%. Is it a lot? No, but you're still in the game. Is 2% off of 10 people better than 0% off of 100? Yes. That's why we put this plan in. Did that clear it up a little bit more for you guys? You guys have more questions? Because I'm going to move through. What's my timing right now? So I don't want to take 2 hours over this. I'm at 2 hours? Oh, I'm at 1.5 hours. Okay. Did this clear it up? I want to make sure. Okay, so they see where the money resides. Okay. Okay. They say, man, keep going. Okay, gotcha. All right, now, so you guys understand Fast Start Accelerator. That's what that is for. This is why you should be sponsoring people. Oh, by the way, it works on upgrades too. Oh, upgrades are included because they're considered Fast Start. So this is all about the enrollment. Do you see why we say the beginning of our plan is the Lamborghini? It's speed. Why? So now, what produces speed? Here's what produces speed. Let me give you psychology of this here real quick. So if you look at sponsoring 10 allows you to max out the depth here. Why does sponsoring 10 why is it so important to sponsor 10? Because now you get your 7th level. As long as you have 10 actives, you get 7 levels of Fast Start Accelerator. Now we have what's called a binary, right? The binary is what we call the mystery magic that most people don't understand how to use it. I like it for this reason. The binary says, we're going to create 2 teams of business. Most people use this language. All you got to do is sponsor 2 people. That ain't true. 2 people get you qualified. I always tell people you have to build 2 teams. Why? If you sponsor 2 people, you're going to be dependent on Fast Start Accelerator. Why? Because one of them don't quit. Build 2 teams. The reason why binary is an attractive component is because it creates spillover, which means your upline, if they are a builder and anybody who's building is placing people on their right or their left. And if you end up joining a person's, for example, let's just say your upline is building, this is their team here, and you join right here, this is you. And you start building your organization in green here. When your upline sponsors, here's your upline here. When they sponsor their next person and put them on their left, it has to go here below you, which means you get, this is you here, you get credit in the binary for this volume to your left team. This person gets credit and this person gets credit. This person gets credit, this person gets credit, and this person. All the way up to infinity. They get credit for that volume. It counts for them. I'm going to share with you how the binary works, how to use the binary. But when you build the structure, the binary takes care of itself. So watch this here. So this person goes out and builds and becomes a diamond or a ruby. Let's say a ruby. This person here becomes a ruby. This person and their volume only counts towards your binary volume. It doesn't count towards your Fast Start Accelerator. Why? Because this person is not in your genealogy or what we call PET, personal enrollment tree. So this person is there to help you get more volume in the binary. That's why we have a hybrid. Because I don't want you depending on spillover volume only. What if your upline is not a big builder? Okay. So the binary is going to be a portion of where the volume comes from. And so now what happens is that person goes Ruby the first month, creates 50,000 in volume, even though Ruby's 40,000. 50,000 CV or QB goes up your left team. And what happens is if you don't have enough volume on the right, it stores there. So you're going to have $50,000 in volume left over. It is basically money that you're depositing in a bank account that you can withdraw from anytime you want to. You say, well, how much money do I get paid on this person, my upline placed below me, and if they did 50,000 in volume? You don't get paid directly any of it. You get 50,000 points over here. And what happens is now, any volume that you produce on your other team, right team, you have money in the bank over here so that this volume over here creates a check with every time volume comes in over here. So what does a binary do? It produces speed. Why? Let me show you psychology of the binary real quick so you'll understand it. In this example, I want to give you another example here. So you'll understand. This is why You use binary for speed. And I'm going to share with you how to utilize this. I'm going to give you more verbiage. I'm going to draw an organization of 10 people. Okay. You, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's one organization. Now I want to draw an organization here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I want to ask you a question. This is you. In this organization here, who's happy? Who's excited? Yep, the one at the top. Okay, one at the top. HB, why do you have a binary? Let me share with you why. You remember I told you when you enroll a person, we have what's called a 72-hour glass. Here's the psychology behind it. Here's how I constructed my organization. In this organization right here, who's excited? This person's excited. This person's got 8 people below them. They're excited. This person's got 7 people below them. They're excited. This person's got 6 below them. They're excited. This person's got 5 below them. They're excited. This person's got 4. This person's got 3. This person's got 2. This person's got 1. And neither one of these people have sponsored anyone, but I've got 9 excited people here, 1 excited person here, but there's a total of 10 in both organizations. Which organization do you think is more motivated right now to believe that the plan works? This organization here. Same results, but the psychology structure of just seeing somebody below me, it does something to a person in network marketing. It makes them understand, it makes them feel like, wow, this thing is working. There's hope. This is why every time I sponsor someone, let me share with you how to make the comp plan work. See, when I sponsor someone, here's HB. I got a left team. Here's HB here. I've got a left team and I got a right team. Every time I sponsor someone, I've got T Gray here. I sponsor Mark. I place Mark on the right side over here below T Gray. You know what I do? I send T Gray a text. T Gray, did you feel that? You remember that, T Gray? Did you feel it? What are you talking about? I just placed somebody in your business. They're going to kill this thing. Did you feel it? You feel that volume? They go check their back office. They go see somebody in the organization. They're inspired. They didn't do any of the work. I sponsor another person. I place them on that side again. I call T Gray. T Gray calls Mark. Mark, did you feel it? Hey, listen, somebody just got placed in your organization. What do you mean, place in my organization? I don't know how that's going to happen. It's going to affect my taxes. I didn't sponsor them. How is this going to happen? Don't worry about it, Mark. Did you feel it? Your organization just grew. You guys, let me explain the details of the plan. See, I want to give them an experience. It's a test drive. I don't tell them how to binary work. They feel it. Give them the experience. Oh, I see how this works now. What you guys are doing, see, you got a left team and a right team, and it's going to be 20% on the lesser team, and this and this, and you're going to get 12% at Sapphire, 13% at Ruby, and you guys using all of these verbiages that nobody understands. I can't stand it. I can't stand when I go and I hear testimonies and, yeah, there are my emeralds over there, and those are my rubies, and those are my, and the guests are sitting there and they're like, is this a jewelry business? I didn't know they sold diamonds and rubies and emeralds, and I thought, you need to cut it out. Speak the language that they understand, because you're thinking that you sound intelligent, and you're sounding over intelligent for your intelligent audience, which makes you not sound so smart. I don't use that language. I don't use the names of this. I don't, oh, I got a leader. I just sponsored a new person. My downline. I don't use that's language that is offensive to people who don't understand the culture of network marketing. Downline, I'm down. I'm down. No, I don't use that type of language. Hey, look, I just put somebody in your group. Did you feel it? Did you feel that? Did you feel that boom? And they start going to look at the back office and they see it. Wow, it grew. I would call them up and I'd say, hey, listen, 10 people been placing your organization down. Did you feel that? You got money in the bank. You want to get it? Let me show you what you need to do on the other side. And they're motivated. Why? Because I've got 9 motivated people over here, not only one over here. At any one of these times here, I got to make sure that I got 72 hours, ladies and gentlemen, 72 hours in a regular binary only to make sure, in a uni-level, to make sure I get these people sponsored someone, or else they're going to feel the business does not work. 72 hours to get a customer, to get a distributor, to get a confirmation on a meeting or something, to keep building belief. Why? Here's what happens. When a person joins, all of this is like an hourglass, but we call it the 72-hour glass. All of these dots represents hope, enthusiasm, dreams, goals, future, security, retirement, all the things that they joined the business for. And as time go by, when they finish get out of your presence, what happens is all of that stuff start going to the bottom. They start hearing things from their friends. Oh, you're in a scam. Or, hey, listen, you're in a pyramid. Oh, you're in network marketing. Oh, trading doesn't work. Oh, network marketing doesn't work. Oh, and all of that stuff starts coming down at the bottom. And you've got 72 hours to create some event of excitement. 3 days. Get them a customer, get them a confirmation, get them a list, have their first training or game plan session, something that you've got to do that represents success. Because when you do that, what you're doing is you're putting that energy back up at the top and recycling it. When I get them sponsored, I got another 72 hours with them. I keep new people in the business 72 hours at a time. I do not let them tell me, I'm going to be your first diamond. No, you're going to be my first quitter if I don't get you something going on in 72 hours. You'll break the record for the fastest quitter, not the fastest diamond. So I got to get them something going in 72 hours. What does this do? If I get them done in 72 hours, that means in 72 hours in the binary, I have someone to call up and say, did you feel it? They've got somebody in 72 hours. They can call up somebody. Did you feel it? What if you had 20 people calling somebody up in your organization saying, did you feel it? And yeah. And now they get used to it. They start, wow, look at this. It's popping like popcorn. Did you feel it? You get it? It's an experience of now I know how the binary works. I can show you a PDF and you'll forget it. I can train you on how the binary works and you'll remember it. But when I place somebody down in your organization and call you up and say, hey, did you feel it? Did you feel what? Just place 2 people down in your organization. They're about to crush this thing. And you go to your back office and you see that for the first time, you'll never forget it. See the difference? I'm not explaining to them how the binary works. I'm making them feel the binary. You're going to feel the binary. That's how you work the binary. And while you work the binary, remember, all the volume from enrollments go through the binary, not uni-level. I wish I had more time to develop this. I'm going to do it at the leadership training. I'm going to do one segment and show them how to blow somebody's mind and just blow their. This is not about, I need to find new ideas to sponsor. No, you need to know how to make people have an experience in the business. I thought everybody was coming. Oops. Okay. So that's your binary. I'm not going to sit here and go through, well, you know, you got to have one on this side. Go read that stuff. I'm sharing with you how to build, guys. I'm sharing with you guys how to keep it simple. The best marketing company in the world is a company called Apple. And if you ever pay attention to what Apple does, you've never seen a commercial with Apple and they say the Apple iPhone. You've never seen a commercial with Apple and they say, here's how you can take pictures with this new camera. You'll never see a commercial with Apple and they'll talk about how many megapixels. One of the latest commercials with Apple is one with The Rock using their integrated AI into Siri. He never gives an explanation as to how Siri works. They take you through a day in the life of The Rock, and you watch him say all of the things and use Siri in the way that you live your life, because they paid attention to what is it that the majority of the people do with their phone, or what do they do in their life. We're going to show them through The Rock, because they'll believe if The Rock uses it, I can. We're going to show them how to use Siri to do the exact same thing. And they never tell you how to do it. They never explain the feature. They make you feel the experience. When Apple came out with FaceTime, they never said the word FaceTime. What they did is they showed a father and his daughter. And the daughter lived in a different state. She was married to her husband and she went into labor. The father couldn't be there to see the delivery of his brand new grandbaby. So what they did is they showed you that if he has an iPhone and the daughter has an iPhone, or the daughter's husband had the iPhone, he was able to be there to witness the birth of his grandbaby, even though he was in another state. And people all around the world said, wow, I will never miss another moment of something that's important. This is why I have to go buy the iPhone. They didn't go through and explain you need 5G, Wi-Fi, and how much storage. This is what you guys are trying to sell, and it will never work. You'll do it in a different plan and you'll have the same result because you don't understand how to move people. I'm simply sharing with you how to move people and how to connect people through an experience in this plan. And I've done the numbers. We have something in our plan that's called dynamic compression. I'm not going to explain it now. It's why nobody's plan can compete with the plan if you put the numbers in. Many of you will look at another plan and think it'll pay you more. It won't pay you more if you're doing the same numbers you're doing now. But it looks like, wow, I'll make more money. No, it still takes work. It still takes work. And so I want you to understand how to give experiences. Okay? So now let's talk about the uni-level bonus. There was another thing I was about to talk about before then that I put my sheet of paper up for that I forgot. But anyway, it'll come to me. So let's talk about the uni-level. The uni-level is very simple. Okay. Nope, I wasn't going to talk about dynamic compression, but dynamic compression is network marketing owners' secrets. It's when you look at the yachts and all the toys that owners of network marketing come from, it's because they choose not to use dynamic compression. It's the money of the breakage. It is where you don't qualify, and it says, well, we showed them what they get if they qualify, but if they got so close, they get none of the money. They don't understand that, but that's my money. It's called breakage. As owners, we all get together and we talk about breakage. It's not a scam. It's just the truth. I'm not afraid to be transparent and share with you. They don't want me in those conversations as much. Why? Because I'm a distributor, and I know why I made $1.1 million a month of residual income and $800,000 in a leadership infinity bonus. It was because the owner let me design the comp plan as a distributor. I said, you sure you want me to design this plan? He says, yes. I say, I'm going to design a plan so that if a person does the volume, they'll be the highest paid person in network marketing at any level. He says, well, do it. Make sure that you're fair to the company. And I did it. I didn't have the largest group in the world. I make more money than anybody else in the world, but I didn't have the largest group in the world. I understood how to make, I'm like, okay, if he's going to let me not have breakage to the company, I'm going to make sure that every leader gets that breakage. I did the same thing over here. Against the wills of many other people who were always, they're the breakage police. I'm not going to say any names. Okay. Uni-level bonus basically is pretty simple. In our uni-level, okay, I'm going to show them something. Watch this here. I want you to assume, name the rank that you have a goal to achieve here, a reasonable rank. Not crown. I know you want to achieve that, but this is for the masses. Put a rank in there. Put a rank in there. Let's just say a rank in the next 6 months that you'd like to achieve. Somebody said emerald. Okay, let's just go with emerald. You're an emerald. Watch this. In a uni-level plan, a uni-level says anybody that you personally sponsor, even though you're binary, and you're binary, when you sponsor this person, here, that person may fall 22 levels deep in your binary, but they fall on your first level in your uni level. So there's a separate part of the plan. Any reorder volume, that means auto ship, subscriptions, all of those things, all of that volume, customer subscriptions, that volume goes to the uni level part of the plan. So anybody you sponsor is on your first level. That's what we call it a genealogy. It's like your kids. Anybody that your kid sponsors on your second level, those are like your grandkids, okay? So if this person sponsored 5 people, you'd have 5 people on your second level. This person here sponsored 3. Now you got 8 people on your second level. This person sponsored 8, okay? Now you'd have 16. If this person here sponsored 12, you'd have 28. This person sponsored 1, you'd have 29 people. This person sponsored 10, you'd have 39 people. 39 people on your second level. So here's what happens. But it goes deep. Why do we want you to go 4 wide and 4 deep? Because we're not explaining to you the plan. We're letting you experience it. But when you do that, people that you sponsor are going to go 4 wide and 4 deep as well. Watch this here. This is so cool. At the emerald level, okay, so let's just say you're an emerald, and here you got a sapphire, here you got a sapphire, here you got a, and this leg here, you've got a senior director, and you've got, these are your major pins here. But you got a sapphire here, and you got a sapphire here, okay, and you got a sapphire here. You guys understand this, right? A sapphire down line. Now they have organizations. So sapphire, they don't just have one leg. Obviously, this sapphire is probably 12 wide. Okay. Okay. But they have an organization. You guys understand that. I'm just drawing out the structure of where they are positioned. Watch this. As an emerald, if we go to our uni level plan, as an emerald, how many levels do you get paid on? 6. You get paid to your 6th level. So that means that as an emerald, this is level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. That means that these people here, you never get paid on. Like, HB, what if, my first 4 people, they're not doing much. And my volume's down below. I fixed that for you. There's something in the plan called standard compression, and then there's something called dynamic compression, for example. In standard compression, let's just use this person here. I'm gonna just use a single line just to show you something here, okay? Don't go try to, listen, if any of you try to go and explain this to a prospect, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cut off your back office. I'm just gonna cut it off. Okay. That's not what this is for. So here's what happens. You're an emerald, and that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here you will stop getting paid there. Standard compression says if this person here quits and this person quits, you're like, oh, I'm only getting paid 1, 2, 3, 4 levels now as an emerald because my first level and my 6th and my 4th level, they quit. Not in HB's plan. Why? I saw that happening in network marketing. That's called breakage. That's the owner's country club membership money. So what I said is we're going to have standard compression. Standard compression says, oops, tell you what, we're going to make this person now, since this person's gone, this person represents level 1 for you. This person represents level 2. Oops, this person's gone. This person represents level 3. This person represents level 4. This person represents level 5. And this person represents level 6 now. That's called standard compression. I compress the people up. Do you see why I want you to go 4 wide and 4 deep? And keep going deep. Why? Because if you do that, you will never, ever, ever have to worry about not getting paid on your levels. Hello. I think I kind of understand this plan a little bit and how network marketing works. Some of you, you'll see in your commissions, you may see person on your 5th level, on your 15th level getting paid as your 3rd level or your 5th level. Why? Because that means I compress them all up. Do you know that most plans don't compress? What if somebody quits, sorry, you don't get that money anymore. Nobody else can replace them. I let the people just compress up and replace you. Can I give them an example of dynamic compression with this one? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example of dynamic compression. So dynamic compression is the 8th wonder of the world. It is. Dynamic compression says it's another infinity bonus. So let's just say you were an emerald. Let me show you something here. I got to do it this way. Sit down for a second. Have a seat. Or do like my grandma said. Sit down somewhere. Watch this here. Okay, watch this here. I got to do it like this. Let me back this camera up a little bit. They got to see this whole thing here. This is you as an emerald. Right? Now, I already know, you got your width of your organization. I'm just going to draw one leg so you guys understand. This is the uni-level plan in Ibüümerang that nobody else in network marketing has. Nobody. You know why? Oh, for a second. Nobody has it at all because they don't want you guys to know they don't want you to know where the money resides. Watch this. You guys think I'm kidding. This is how rich at network marketing. Watch this. Level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 levels deep. If I paid an emerald 23 levels of uni level, do you think it would be healthy for the company? It wouldn't. That's not fair to the company to make me pay 23 levels of uni level to an emerald or even to a ruby. Sit down somewhere. I'll do it. I'll show you how. Watch this. You can be an emerald, you can be a ruby, you can be a sapphire. And get this. But let me show you how it's an emerald. So now you're an emerald, you have a sapphire right here. You have a sapphire here. You have a sapphire here. You have a sapphire here. This may be one of your big legs. But let's just say you got a ruby here. Watch this. Now remember, each one of these people here, remember, they have width. I'm just showing where they are on the level. This is level 23. Watch this. Emerald gets paid, qualified for, they qualify for the 6th level of commission, the 6th level at 6%. So this would be level, let's assume we've compressed everybody up and the emerald gets paid on their 6 levels. This would be their 1st level, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and their 6th right here. So their money should stop there. Why? Because they've gotten their 6 levels. But a ruby qualifies for how many levels? Anybody know? 5. So here's your ruby right here. Let's count your ruby's level. Level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But your ruby has a person on level 6. Does the ruby qualify for that money? So what Uncle Bud said is, instead of me paying my country club membership with the ruby's level 6 money, I'm going to give it to whoever's qualified for a 6th level. So the emerald picks up the 6th level commission in this ruby's organization after they've also gotten their 6 levels of earnings. Stop. Not hammer time, but stop. Watch this. Watch this here. I'm going to blow your mind right now. Let's take this person here. This person is just a senior director. Does this person have now in their group, they've won, this is their level 1. This person here, this is their level 1. This is their level 2. This is their level 3. This is their level 4. This is their level 5. This is their level 6. Are they qualified to get paid on the 6th level? Nope. But Uncle Bug says, I'm going to take 6%, even though this is on that emerald's level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th level. And the emerald picks up the 6% commission. And this person's on the 5th level of that person. So the ruby picks up the 5th level commission. I'm guaranteeing I'm going to pay out all the money instead of take the money and go buy another car. So, to keep this simple, does this person on level 23, is the person on level 23, are they somebody's 6th level in this plan? I need some feedback here. Yes. So, whose 6th level are they? Let's go up. There, this will be 6. This will be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that means this person here has number 23 on the 6th level. Does this person qualify for a 6th level commission? No. So who gets that commission? The emerald. Who gets the 5th level commission for this same person? The ruby. Who gets the 4th level commission for this person? the sapphire up here. Hold on, sapphires only qualify for 4 levels. That means that this sapphire should only go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and it should stop there. Well, there's nobody who qualified for the 4th level between that sapphire and this person. So the sapphire picks up this person as a 4th level commission, even though they're on level 15. What if this goes 100 levels deep? It continues to pay out over and 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 over again. It's a guaranteed payout. This is why you need to requalify your pen. If you don't, you miss out on the money. If you don't requalify your pen, you will never. You'll never get to where the money resides. You'll never get to it. I want y'all to understand, do you know this is called an infinity bonus? I just didn't put it in there, but it's an infinity bonus. No, you don't start a new account, you just qualify. You don't have to start a new account. No, you didn't mess up. Got to remember, the beauty of network marketing is it's so forgiving. It's so forgiving. We're forcing the money to be paid out. If you're a diamond, you pick up. Now, here's the thing. If you're a diamond in this example, instead of being an emerald, you would pick up. Hold on for a second. Okay. Y'all don't get this. So let me share something with you here. Okay. So remember this person here has this person on the 6th level. If you were a diamond on this person, because in between, nobody qualifies for the 6th level, and nobody qualifies for, nobody qualifies for the 6th level, and nobody qualifies for the 7th level. So that means if you were a diamond, whatever volume that this person did, you would get the 6% check, and you'd also get another 7% check. But you said it's a uni level, and you're only supposed to get paid one time on them. Not Uncle Bug's plan. In your other legs over here, you're a diamond. And this plan went all the way down 23 legs. This is not likely, but I'm just giving you the example. Do you know past your 6th level, each person, you will pick up all the way down on whatever they do, you're going to pick up rubies get what? You know, 8%. You will pick up an 8% check. You will pick up additional 7% check. You will also pick up a 6% check, and you'll pick up a 5% check on every single person down to infinity. Go run tell that. That's how this plan works. That's your Ibüümerang plan. Let me ask you a question in the chat. How many of you knew this? Okay. Most of you didn't know it. That's why I came to show you where the money resides. Leadership infinity bonus. A little difficult to explain, but I'm gonna shoot you one here. Where's my marker now? Where the marker reside? Where the marker reside? Leadership infinity bonus. I'm gonna share with you why this is important. What is the title of this? Leadership infinity bonus. Leadership infinity bonus pays in generations, not levels. Here's a level. I've already expressed to you what levels are. There's a difference between levels and generations. Can't see nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These would be levels. Generations. Levels are fixed. Here's generation. You are a emerald, and here you have a sapphire right here. From here on down, that whole organization is now what's called your first generation. At the sign of your first sapphire will be your first generation. So here's what we do to make this real simple. We take all of the volume for that entire organization, and we're going to pay you an additional 2%. Now remember, you also got paid on the same volume in the uni level. And some of you got paid 4 times on each one of these people already, and we're going to pay you a 5th time. So what happens is we take all of this volume, no matter how much volume is there, and we pay you a generational bonus. Why? Because you developed the leader. At Sapphire. Why do you think we do the biggest recognition at Sapphire? Because the business is built on Sapphire. It's not built on Diamond. Yeah, you get deeper commissions, but everything starts at Sapphire. So we're going to take this whole organization here, and we're going to say, in addition to everything you've been paid, we're going to pay you your first generation bonus here on this leader. Well, what if this group goes 50 levels deep? If there's no other Sapphires in there, you get paid off the bonus on all 50 levels. It's an infinity bonus. You say, well, oh, I see. You said that there's another Sapphire. What if there's another Sapphire that's in there? Okay, here's how it works. If you now have a Sapphire here and you have a Sapphire here. So we're going to take this organization, all that organization, excluding that Sapphire. This becomes your first generation. This Sapphire and their organization becomes generation 2. And let's just say all of this comes down, but maybe you get to level 20 and you have another Sapphire. That level becomes your 3rd generation, all the way level 25 down to level 50. If you're a Sapphire, you get your first generation. So if you're only a Sapphire and you break a Sapphire in your group, you're going to get a bonus 2% of that entire volume. If you're Sapphire, that means if you're a Sapphire here, you'll get paid on this one. Will you get paid on this generation? No, because this is the 2nd generation. And how many Sapphires do you qualify to get paid on? How many generations? As a Sapphire, how many generations do you qualify? 1. Can I show you something? Can I blow your mind? What if this is a Sapphire, but what if you were the upline here and you were a Diamond? If you were a Diamond, you qualify to get paid on 4 generations. So the first generation of your Sapphire here is this person here, right? This group here, right? So your Sapphire got paid on this generation. This is your Sapphire's first generation, but it's your 2nd. So your Sapphire is going to get 2% on this volume. You're going to get 3% on this volume. All the volume, not the level, the whole team. But your Sapphire, which is here, this is your Sapphire, has a 2nd generation. Does your Sapphire supposed to get paid on all the volume for its 2nd generation? Yes or no? Why? Why don't they get paid on it? Because they don't qualify. So this sapphire gets paid on this one because it's their first one. But this sapphire doesn't get paid on it because it's the second one. Oops, that second generation money has to go to somebody. Holton can't go buy a new watch. It's called breakage. So we're going to take that second generation money and send it right back up to you. So now you're going to get paid the 2%, but this same volume is on your third generation, so you'll also get the 3%. They should make a meme out of this. I don't think y'all understand. You don't. You say, well, oh, you have to be a diamond. No. If you were a ruby, you would get the 2%. You would also get the 3%. Why? Because the sapphire only qualify for one level. I mean, one generation. But you're a diamond or emerald up here. So your sapphire qualifies for this here. This is their first generation. Here, this would be their second. Here, this would be their third. They don't qualify for the third generation. Does an emerald get third generation? Yep. So the sapphire here gets the first generation, right? This sapphire gets this first generation, this sapphire here. But this group is a second generation for this person. So this group, the only person who qualifies for a second generation is you. So you're going to get a 2% on this one. If you're a diamond here, you also get paid. You qualify for second generation. You also qualify for a third generation. Who else qualifies for a third generation? Because this group is the third generation to this sapphire, but this sapphire can't pick it up. So you're going to get another 3% on this entire volume. You also qualify for the 4%, because that would be the third generation. But you're the diamond as well, so they're on your fourth generation, which is 1 sapphire, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to pick up the 5%. When you don't qualify, it passes up to, this is why you want to keep people qualified in your team as well. So you mean to tell me on this volume, HB, you're going to pay me 2, 3, 5, 4, 9. You're going to pay me 13% on this entire team's volume, plus what you've already paid me in the uni level? Yeah. Yep. It's guaranteed payout. It's a forced payout. I can keep the money. Yes. Question over here. Here's why you want to have the sapphires qualify. If none of those sapphires qualify, you don't create a generation. So some would say, well, this plan here, I don't want my people to qualify. Nope. You want them to, why? Because I get paid 5% on my fourth generation. So it incentivizes to build leaders in depth. So I can't just stop people from growing. I've seen plans like that. Though, remember I said breakaway plans? So this is a breakaway, but I said I'm going to incentivize you for making them break away. I'm going to give you more money if you develop leaders that take you away from your first generation. I'm going to give you more money. Other plan says, nope, you can't count any of that volume anymore. We can only count your other non-sapphire leg towards your volume. This is where the money's at right here, guys. This is where the money resides for real. This is where the money resides, right here. So when we tell you, get people started, first thing you want to do is get them 4 wide and take one leg 4 levels in depth. How many of you believe that I'm testing something now, and I don't want to throw out any hints? Is that a hint? Okay, I didn't mean to do that. How many of you believe 4 wide and 4 deep is accomplishable? Yeah, it is. That's all I want to know. I ain't saying nothing else. So you get them 4 wide, 4 deep wide. You're setting them up. You're setting yourself up for me to keep paying you these bonuses. This is why I share with you to do this. I don't try to explain all the bonuses to you and the details of it. I'm showing, here's what you should do to maximize the plan. 4 wide, 4 deep wide. Because our goal is 4 wide, 4 deep. We want to get that done right away. Because in the first 30 days to 60 days, we're looking for someone that we can take 12 wide, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Why 12 wide? Well, Jesus had 12 disciples. The number works. And he's built an organization of around 7 billion people, or 5 billion, however many. And yes, some of his quit too. Why a binary? Because he sent them out in pairs, knocking on doors. That's what he did. Sent them out in pairs. And what he said when a person rejects you, shake the dust off your sandals and go to the next house and share the story. Not share the details, share the story, make them feel it. Okay. 12 wide. When they go 12 wide, they're going to have 3 to 4 legs that goes 4 deep. Everybody won't get to Sapphire. Everybody won't do this. But more people believe that they can do 4 by 4. Write that down and say that. Remember this word, 4 by 4. So if I go 12 wide, that means I get 1 out of 3. I mean, 1 out of 4 wide, that's going to go 4 deep. So I've got 3 to 4 that I'm going to go deep with. See, by the time I get 12 wide, I'm better. That means that I could probably get 2 legs out of the next 4 to go 4 deep. I'm teaching you now how to secure your income, how to have so much bulk of your volume in your first 4 levels. Your accelerator bonus is paying you why? Because you've got the majority of your people if you've got massive volume of people in your first 4 levels, do you think your 7th level is going to be huge and it's going to pay you like crazy? Some of you are only looking for a binary check. What's my binary? You don't even know how to build a binary. I'll show you how to build a binary, okay? And then we're going to wrap this up here. Let me show you how to build a binary. I need some more paper. I'm running out of paper. And for those of you who are tree huggers, sorry, I'm going to go through some more paper. No, I'm not doing a part 2. Nope, they need to go. This is enough. Not part 2. TJ wants me to do a part 2 on a comp plan. Nope. It's a one-hitter quitter. Nope, one-hitter quitter. So, well, there won't be a part 2 on the explanation, but behavior, yes. Okay, so here's what we're talking about. So when you build a binary, how should you build and construct a binary? Here's how I build a binary. Everybody has a concept of what's called the team leg and the pay leg. People always ask, are you going to put me on a power leg? And I say yes, because both of my legs are powerful. Anytime you start looking at your upline for spillover, that means that you're in the socialist line. You're hoping and waiting for somebody to give you something that you didn't deserve, that you didn't earn. I'm just being candid, guys. You don't make it to the top by asking your upline to do the work for you. That's a bad behavior, and you will never walk across the stage and be able to teach anybody anything with any degree of authority when you are the network marketing socialist. Strong words, but guys, you know how I am. I'm just telling the truth. I don't like it. It doesn't, you can't teach anybody to go stand in line to get something that they didn't deserve. You can't teach that. HB, how did you, tell me, how did you earn your first car? Well, my upline put somebody on my left, and then, you know what? I begged them, told them I was going to quit if they didn't put somebody on my right. And you did that. And so I've just been managing the teams that they built for me. Okay, teach me how to do that. Which means that now you have to do the same thing for them. You can't duplicate it. So here's what I do. When I start my binary, here's what happens here. Let's just say that this is your upline, your sponsor, and you're on your sponsor's right side. This is you on the right side of your sponsor, which means you're going to have two teams that you're going to build. Selfish people, here's what they do. They take their first person and put them on their pay leg. Why? I want to put somebody on the other side to create a check. No. You take your first person, okay? And your sponsor may have already put somebody over here, so you've got somebody here. And then let me put the people that you're going to sponsor in green. You take your first, this is you. You take your first person and you place them on the team leg. Why? So that the person who's already benefited you, you pay them back by benefiting them. Each one benefit one, and you keep that going. You take your second person and you put them here on your left. You take your third person and you put them right back over here. Well, what about this? This leg has already got 15 people. So what? You didn't do it. Why don't you help the team out? It's like being in tug of war and noticing that but you don't want to, you want everybody to pull the weight, but you don't want to grab the rope. Network marketing has produced the most selfish babies I've ever seen. They want everybody else to do something for them, but they don't want to contribute. By the way, newsflash, I've never had anybody placed in my group. I don't know what it feels like. I didn't get the phone calls of did you feel it? I made the phone calls of did you feel it? Why? Because every time I joined, I always told my upline, go work your other side. I'm self-sufficient. I'm the leader. I'm not expecting you to do anything but stay out of my way, and I'm going to respect you. You're going to respect me. I'm a team player, but I'm going to be building my own two teams. I don't need your spillover. That's just how I did it. That's just how I did it. So you put your first one over here, second one over here. You put your third one over here. And you do it until you go 6 to 8 over here, 6 to 8 over here. I'm in the beginning, I'm sorry, 3 to 4. 3 to 4. Then another 3 to 4, which is 6 to 8, and another 3 to 4. And you start building this like that. Why? Why do you do it that way? So that you can start building two teams, not sponsoring two people. And no matter how deep you put them, they're still in your uni level on your first level. So now you got the did you feel it? You got that going on. You got people excited in your group. You've got fast start accelerators coming, because now with these 12 to 16 people you sponsored, they're sponsoring. So your fast start accelerators kicking in. You're teaching them the same thing about, hey, did you feel it? I just put somebody in your group. Did you feel that? Okay. And we kept it fun. We kept it cool. And now everybody was, man, just looking around. They wanted to make the phone call. The pride in my group was I had people who wanted to make the phone call. Some people have people who want to receive the phone call. I want to make that phone call. Why? When I make that phone call, that person Now I have a chance to get them to be able to make the phone. The champions make the phone call, not always receiving it. Okay. Leadership infinity bonus. I've explained that. I'm not going to go through star achiever bonus in detail, but there's a reason we put star achiever bonus in there. 300 points is star achiever. Number one, why did we do star achiever? Because the back end of our plan is the Rolls Royce. This is where you're going to have longevity. This is where you're going to have strong residual income. Do you know that the reason of my check still being over $100,000+ in that other company is because I put star achiever in place? And do you know that there's people there who's gone 5, 6, 7 years and never missed a month star achiever? 7 years in a row. That would be 84-month star achievers. And when you create that culture, what you're doing is you're built. Now, remember the uni-level bonus? What goes in the uni-level? Reorders, star achiever money. What goes in the infinity generational bonus? Reorders, subscriptions, auto ships. Do you see how that one bonus, not my uni level, my one bonus of 800,000 was the generational infinity bonus? Why? Because I had so many star achievers that were in there because you get paid on volume. Paid on volume. And so when you start connecting the dots, and this is how a comp plan should work. Okay. Do you remember, guys, when you were a little kid, and maybe you were 5 years old or 3 years old in school, and your teacher, they taught you how to draw. And they taught you how to draw. And they said, this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, this is number 4, this is number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10. And they said, what you gonna do, boys and girls? Here's what you're gonna do. Connect the dots. They didn't teach you how to draw. They showed you how to do steps that would bring a picture together. I forgot they put one there. And they said, this is how you draw a fish. All I have to do is connect 1 to 2 to 3. That's how our comp plan is. I don't teach people how to draw the fish. I teach people how to connect the dots that create the fish. Because if you can connect 1 to 2, if you can do 4 wide, 4 deep, which is connecting 1 to 2, by the time you finish listening to me and stop going off of your old thinking that has never produced the money that you want, connect 1 to 2, 3 to 4, by the time you finish, you have exactly what it is that you want and a whole lot more of it. The biggest reason that it doesn't happen is because what happens is most people say 1 to 2, that's too small. Let me just go out here and just try to do the whole thing at one time. If I was starting from scratch today, the person who says, can I start over? Yes, you don't need a new ID number. Start over. Here's how you start over. You take your existing group that you have, love on them, and let's say your existing group is only you. That means that what you do now is you start from brand new, go sponsor 4 new people. How do you sponsor four people? You put them in front of a presentation, a plan, whether it's going to be on a Zoom, whether it's going to be with your upline, or whether you're going to do a meeting with them or whatever that may be. And you don't talk them into it. You ask them a question about the comp plan. Let me ask you a question. If I could show you how to put $300 to $500 in your pocket, Tuesday or Thursday, which day would be better? Thursday? Great. What if I showed you how to put $2,000, $1,200 to $2,000 in your pocket the next 30 days? Would you like that? Yeah. I'm going to commit to the next 4 Thursdays, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So now what you've done that one time, you've got 3 more dots to connect. Connected to a second person and connected to the third and the fourth person. Now you're 4 wide. Out of those 4, somebody's excited. Why 4? Because you can't cherry pick. You can't choose who's going to be excited. It may be this person here who gets excited. And that person may say, okay, well, now your goal is, let me take this person 4 levels deep, levels deep. This was my call. I had him tell him I'm running late. I forgot. It's Alex. Okay. And so you go 4 wide, 4 deep. And that's how you make that work. And just tell them we'll reschedule that call. I know I only had 30 minutes to do that call with them, but just tell them we'll reschedule it. And what you do is, now when you're going to go out and you're going to get another 4, and you'll find out who's excited, and you'll take them 4 levels deep, which is now, not by the time you do that, you're over here. You're connecting these dots. And you're going to do it again, another 4 levels, 4 wide. Not all at one time. And then what happens is, now you're connecting these dots. And by the time you've done it 3 times, you're 12 wide. You've got 3 to 4 legs deep, which means you have 4 legs in which you actually can develop leadership in. And you stay working in those 4 legs, and now, if 4 levels wide, you find one, watch. Let me show you just one thing here. This is the psychology of building. Man, I should write a book on this thing here. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if 4 wide allows you to find one, do you think it's the width that allows you to find one? No, it's the law of averages. It's the law of numbers. 25% of the people who come in a short period of time are going to be the people that actually are excited that you can duplicate. So if it works in width, it works in depth, which means 1, 2, 3, 4. One of these 4 people are going to be excited that you can now take 4 wide and 4 deep. You go 4 deep again, you've got 4 people. One of these 4 is excited. You don't know who it is. You can take 4 wide and 4 deep. And stop focusing on you getting recognition. You do this, I promise we're going to recognize you. Stop focusing on trying to be the most prolific trainer. There's no payment for training. There's only payment for doing. Show the people. We don't have a infinity trainer bonus. We have an infinity leadership bonus. I'm telling you, lead the people to doing this and the money comes. I never got it. Whereas I tell people, guys, listen, this is not about me being a motivational speaker. As soon as a person hits Sapphire, guess what they want? They now want to be the trainer. They train their group to death, or they speak their group to death, because we recognize them. They got an eagle, and the next thing you know, they're the world. They're Les Brown. When you do this, it pays. It's about how you make the plan pay you. So when you structure this, now what that does, that allows you to max out, set yourself up for maxing out the plan. Our plan pays you long-term for the leader who's going to do the work. It's going to keep you in the game at the beginning with the Fast Start Accelerator. You're not going to make the craziest money by just sponsoring wide only. Nope. You're going to make money, but that's not what's going to keep you in the game. It keeps you in the game because it's going to continue to pay you. If I only have one leg working right now, my other leg caught a flat tire, but I got one leg going, I'm going to keep that leg going. Fast Start Accelerator, giving me a little bit of energy, giving me juice until I get my other leg built up. Now my other leg is built, I'm getting binary checks. Binary checks are creating what? It's creating residual checks. Here's the thing here. Leaders, if you're a Ruby or above, watch this last thing and I'm done. I can give you so many scenarios here. Ruby or above. Here's what happens here. I think I shared this with Donnie Pips when we met over in, I think I shared this with Donnie when we met over in Miami once. So here's what you do with a binary. Here's what happens. I want you to imagine let's just say here that you built an organization and you drove death and you start doing what I call death charging. I won't explain what that is right now. That's part of part 2 of the behavior that T. Gray was talking about. But what happens is this. My goal, let's just say that your goal here is to drive, you're working with your first 4 levels of people, 4 wide, 4 deep, right? You've done that a few times. This month, what's the goal? I've done it a few times. I've got 10 people or 20 people in my organization. And so now what's the goal? The goal is this month here, we're going to put 30 people in the business. So 30 people come in the team between your left and your right, okay? 10 come in on this side, 20 people come in on this side, all right? It doesn't matter. In the uni level, it shows 30 total people. These 30 people are between your first 4 levels. That's who you're working with right now. Guess what happens in those 30 levels? Those 30 levels, what happens is next month, those 30 people are creating an average of 150 points. Times 30. So that's 4,500 points. So if they're in my first 4 levels, at minimum, I'm getting 10% in uni level without me being a leader. So I just created a $450 residual check that's going to come in month after month after month after month after month after month, just after month 1. So month number 2, I take these 30 people and let's just say 10 of the people drop off. Let's be realistic. 10 of them drop off. I've got 20 people that's going to come. This is month number 3. 20 people stay out of the 20. Now we're going to put 40 people into the business. 40 plus 60 comes in. 60 people. I got 60 people times 150 volume. That's now 9,000 volume. I make 10%. 10%, I got a $900 residual check. Oops, I'm now a sapphire. Who broke a sapphire? HB's now going to start paying me in the Infinity Leadership Infinity bonus. So not only do I get 10% uni level, I start getting another 2% on this 9,000. 2% on this is another $180. But obviously at Sapphire, you have more than 9,000 in volume, if you know what I'm talking about. Is this making sense to you guys now? I just want to make sure if it's making sense. This is if there's no dynamic compression applied. This is if there's no compression. This is only the straight volume. If dynamic compression is applied to this, your check is bigger than this. Why? Because you're getting paid multiple times on the same volume through multiple people, through the individuals. So as a leader, here's what my focus is. How many new bodies in the first 4 levels am I putting in the organization? Because that's going to build my Rolls Royce. That's going to build my smooth money for the remainder of the time. Ladies and gentlemen, I started that business in 2008. That's 16 years. Is that 16 years? Right? 16 years ago. And do you know the front line that is active in that business? The majority of those people in the front line, I sponsored my first year that I'm getting that produces $100,000 a month check right now. I did the work one time. The distributors, leaders aren't there. Their customers are there. They have an active position. The customers are reordering. And that money still generates a check. Why? Because what I did is I said, every month, I had a goal. Month 1, you know what? My whole goal, month 1, I said, I am going to put Now, my goals were pretty big and audacious. And my first 4 levels, my goal was to put 1,000 people in my first 4 levels. 1,000. My average reorder volume per person there was about $275 a month. The average in network marketing is $35. So you see, oh, this plan, it only takes $40 to stay active. Okay, you can't put 5 people in the plan. You know you got to have 5,000 people to make some money, but you can't even put 5 people in the business. It's smoke and mirror. It looks good. Oh, I'm going to make so much money because it's cheaper. All right. Okay. Doesn't work that way. 275 times 1,000 is what? 275,000. So the residual check on 275,000 in volume at 10%, most of it being in that first 4 levels, 27,500 bucks. That's only the uni level. That's not generational. Hello. Actually, in that plan, it wasn't 27,000. You know why? Because I was only getting paid 5%. So cut that in half. It was 18,750 in this example. Hello. Here, it would be 27,500. One bonus. That's just the uni level bonus. Okay, well, HB, I can't do 1,000. Well, can you do 100? In 3 months, you do 100. Can you take your volume and average it at 150? So that way, if you do 100, you got 15,000 in volume coming in. 10% of that, you got 1,500 check. Can you take the next, can you make sure that you double this number in the next 90 days? So now you got a $3,000 monthly. See, if you know where the money's at, you know what to do. Most people, the only thing that leaders do mostly, they think about, oh, I'm going to sponsor some more people. Why? Why are you sponsoring more? I'm not saying don't, but why? Do you know where you're going to put them? Do you know what the purpose is? Do you know where the psychology of why, what you're building? Because when you know this plan, you don't need to call me and ask me about what, what should I do? How many people over here? It tells you what promotions to run. It tells you what to train on in your organization. It tells you all of the things of how to run your organization because of the behavior. Why? Because you know my first 4 levels pays me more in the beginning. Anything else? 10, 10, 10, 10. So let me go ahead and get as wide as I can and get the leaders to do the same thing. Why? Because I am going to build me get my residual income to 10 grand a month. How do I do it? Have you sat down and said, how do I get a $10,000 a month uni level check? How many people, based on the volume that I'm actually working with, the people that I'm building in my group, how many people must I have in my first 4 levels to get $10,000 a month? If you haven't worked it out, you'll never do it. You'll never do it, ladies and gentlemen. And so if you work out the numbers, you know what you're willing to do. And what I did is you guys know I had a goal. My goal was to make $1 million a month. I knew I needed 10,000 people in my first 4 levels who were making $100 a month. Then we have lifestyle bonus. Just remember one word: 4x4. Coming to a theater near you. Love you guys. I think that's enough. I think I have given you at least enough of an understanding so that you won't think that there's not enough money in the plan. There's just not enough plan for your money. And if you take this and you sat down and you orchestrated and you drew out your group, how many times have you leaders heard me say, draw out your group? Everybody's so much into this digital world that you want to just use your computers all the time. And I'm telling you, draw out your group. Just draw it out. Put that back on, Mark. Yeah. Draw out your group. Let it speak to you. That's why we had the calendars first. Then we put the rank up in there for you. We didn't put rank up in there because we needed more money for you. We put rank up in there so you can see how I build, so you can see your structure, so you'll know what you do. And many of you talked yourself right out of that. Oh, it's expensive. If you're going to build, you're going to need a tool. It's a tool that shows you everything that you need in your organization. If I had that tool, I know I would have done probably 30% more. I did everything manually. This is why we had the calendars and we had it already drawn up for you. Every day I'd look at my group and I'd say, in descending order of strength, this is my number one leg, my number two, number three. So this leg right here is doing, 60,000 in volume. This leg here is doing 38,000 in volume. This leg here, last month we did 20,000. This one here is doing 5,000. This one's doing 2. This one did 1,500, 1,000. And these right here are my new legs that I just got started. I just did another new 4x4. And I look in this 60,000 leg and I'd say, who in this leg is 4 wide and 4 deep? So I can know which people are my leaders. A leader is not a person who calls themselves a leader. A leader is a person who leads because of the structure that they have in their organization. You don't raise your hand and say, I'm going to be a leader. That's called a participant. You lead by showing by your actions. And so now in this leg over here, if I got 60,000 in volume over here, I'm probably going to have somewhere between 12 to 15 people in this leg that has 4 wide, 4 deep. See, I know my numbers. And out of those 12 to 15 people who did the 4x4, that's who I'm working through the main leader, maybe my Sapphire over here, my Ruby, but they're working through their 4 people with the 4x4. Why? They know who to go to get volume. And over here, I get 30,000 volume. And guess what? I probably got about anywhere between, if I got 30,000 volume, I got somewhere between 6 to 8 people over here who's done a 4x4. And I know who I'm working on. Over here, I've got 3 to 4 people at 20,000 volume who's got the 4x4. Does it mean the other people who haven't done it doesn't count? No. You create a culture of doing it, and everybody now wants to do it. Don't create a culture where you do everything for everyone. Create a culture where you empower people through knowledge. You empower people through your example. That's how you max out. You don't max out a plan because you get the best position. You can't teach that. You can only teach where the normal way a person starts with them. What did you do when you started? Is your upline in the position? All they got to do is build one leg. That means that they're in a socialist plan. Somebody else is building their other leg for them. I'm not saying that's what they want, but when you see that happen all the time, and you look at a person's check, but the company says, "Don't worry about it. You just go get everybody else, put them on your pay leg. We're gonna take care of one leg for you." Okay, it benefits them. Ask them to do the same thing for you. Tell you what, why don't you do this here since we're gonna do that, and they're gonna put me over here on that leg as well. Put everybody that they care about, they should put them on that leg, right? Because that's what they want for themselves. So duplicate it. They'll never get a check. That's why I don't ever teach anybody that. Person comes into business, I tell them, you're gonna have to build both legs. You get spillover, that's gravy. And then I call them up 48 hours after they've been in. Did you feel it? Did you feel that? What? We just put 2 new people in your business. We just got through doing a big meeting here. These people are fired up. Your business just grew. Go take a look at it. And I hang up the phone. Or I text it to them. You guys are incredible. Can't wait to see you guys. We're going to get this photo here. Who's directly behind? Okay, it's this camera here. All right, there we go. Oh, let me take this comment, right? I need to minimize the comments. I don't need to do that? Okay. Cool. Oh, that's what they see? Okay. All right, let me see, were there any questions that came in that I need to answer real quick? Wow, so after doing the 4x4, okay. Okay. So stop letting people tell you about your company. Well, the comp plan is confused. You ain't supposed to know how to explain it. It ain't confusing at all. It's the best comp plan out there in the industry. It's the most rewarding comp plan out there in the industry, period. Be a leader. Stop being a follower all the time. Okay, here we go. Let's get our photo. I had to bring this orange back. Boom. Somebody says, where can they get that HP hat? Well, we don't have these hats anymore. But the last thing I want to tell you guys is money reside, where the money reside. Love you guys. You guys are incredible.